right.
Look at that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Here we are at the United States Energy Association 14th Annual State of Energy. We have Chet Thompson, President and CEO of the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers. The question everybody has is, what will Donald Trump do, this administration, on solving some of the problems that downstream, especially refinery business, have faced in the last 8 years of a very over-regulated or very regulation-heavy administration? How do you see the change?
Well, I'll start off by saying that we've already seen some change.
Yeah.
During the first year of his administration, we saw efforts to make regulatory reform, to streamline permitting, so we're pleased about that. We've also, tax reform was big. It's big for the refining industry, and in a very competitive global industry, it's important for us to be competitive on a global level, and tax reform helps. I would say going forward, other things he could do is continue with regulatory reform, trying to make sure we find the right balance between environmental protection and stifling the industry. And I also, in a very specific regulation, we're hoping that he will help us reform the renewable fuel standard and find ways to make it more equitable and fair going forward.
Because some of the members, as I remember, refinery business has been in decline and have been degraded as capacity. The refining plants have been getting, they're not modern. They've been being, slowly degraded because there hasn't been new investment. Do you see that there'll be takeovers in the refining industry and upgrades through M&A, which is probably the most effective way to get upgraded new capital investment?
Again, I guess I'll start by saying I don't think the premise is right. The refining industry and our facilities are some of the most technologically advanced in the world. We're the most efficient refineries in the world. We're the cleanest refineries in the world. Now, certainly with
Philadelphia, there's like a few stories in Philadelphia. Some of our refineries near the cities are in trouble, I think.
Well, there are certain refineries that are having difficulty with certain programs, including the renewable fuel standard.
Yeah.
And specifically, that program requires facilities to buy RINs in order to operate. And RIN prices now are substantial, and some of the smaller refineries are being, squeezed heavily by RIN prices right now. And so we are hoping the president will step in and try to make the program more fair. But our facilities are state of the art. And there's been lots of investment in our facilities. There hasn't been any new refineries built, but certainly a lot of upgrades.
Because before it would seem that they were being pushed out of the country offshore to Mexico and other less regulatory heavy countries and pushing them out of the United States into that. Is that going to be ending, or you see a return of more petrochemical downstream into the United States?
Well, the U.S. has and continues to be the world leader in refining. We supply refined products to more than 100 countries. Our largest import of our refined products is Mexico. It's Mexico that's looking to us now to keep their country wet. So we're thriving right now. 2017 was a great year for us. We had high domestic demand for our products and high global demand for our products.
So low, as I understand, low carbon fuel prices, oil, shale, lowers the price of downstream costs, which makes downstream business much more profitable and interesting, right?
Well, I guess with that, what I'll tell you is, the downstream industry, obviously, a feedstock to our operation is crude oil. And so lower crude oil means lower process costs, and that's good for consumers.
And the shale, how does the shale gas fit into that?
Well, the shale gas, two ways. One, shale gas, supplies our petrochemical members. For them, shale gas, natural gas is a feedstock to make petchem. Obviously, along with natural gas production also comes with oil.
Yeah.
And more oil into the U.S. market, helps us as well.
And the last question, I was just in Puerto Rico. How is your association and your members going to help in Puerto Rico? I saw they had some old, out-of-date chemical and downstream. Is there a move to bring that back into Puerto Rico that could be possible?
Well, like I say, our industry isn't that, we don't have large facilities in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is supplied mostly from the Caribbean market.
Yeah.
So we stand ready to help. What we do think Puerto Rico points out is why we need things like the Jones Act reform.
Yeah.
We need to make it so we can get our products to places a little bit.
But do you think you can make Puerto Rico into an industrial center, 3 million people, highly educated, trained, and take over from Dominican Republic and other areas that are doing that?
Like I say, right now our focus is on our facilities domestically,
Yeah.
At least stateside, and we have enough capacity, and that's where our focus is.
Okay, thank you, sir.